guys, what is up? Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody had a good start to their week, and hope everybody's at least taking some time to enjoy their family and stuff during this time of year. I'd like to say that first and foremost. I think that's awesome. Arizona Raven, hey, do me a favor, Arizona. Can you put that link to that keyboard in the chat? Guys, look at her. Her name. She did that with a keyboard app, and I want to do that with mine. I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. When will the CME hit? Any blackout? That's a good question. That CME should hit us in about about on the 9th or 10th, depending on how fast it is. Okay, thanks, Arizona. I can't say for sure because obviously we don't know the exact speed of it. But it is the biggest one fired at Earth in quite some time. And it definitely is going to hit us. There's not really much of a question if that's going to happen. And you'll see when I get to this to show you guys what's actually going on. I'm kind of going slow here at the beginning just so I give people some time to get up in here. Actually, I think I'm going to go, I think my mouse speed's fine. Okay, I'll just leave that there. But, so yeah. Oh, that's okay, Arizona. Hey, if you want, you can just email it to me, okay? Also, guys, while we're doing this, so I can just get this out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and just use this one, I guess. No, yeah, I think I will. Let's use this right here. I'm just going to pause it. But, yeah. Guys, thank you so much for everybody that's been helping, support me in this channel. It definitely is helping me. I didn't expect any of this, and I thank you guys so much. I really can't say it enough. And I know I say it a lot, but I feel like you guys at least deserve that. I wish I could put everybody's name up here every time, but it does. It takes some time to get that stuff together. And I want to at least acknowledge those that are helping and have just given without any just any question of anything, or just out of the kindness of their heart is what I'm trying to say. It's really it's humbling for me, and it's hard for me to even, I know it sounds stupid, but it's hard for me to even do that. I get real uncomfortable when I talk about this. Thanks, Troy. I appreciate that, bud. Good to see you, man. I seen you posted a video a few days back, almost a week or so. Check that out, guys. I got the TV playing in the background, and because of this flare CME, it looks like the cable and stuff's jacking up. I don't know if that's the flare itself, I guess, could be causing some of that, but we're also having some density and stuff that's going to be hitting us before that. And it was actually slated to hit about the same time. So we're going to have to watch that too, because it's two different things that are going to come together at once or close to one another. Hey, Ireland, I love that. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love that, Noel. That's cool. That's one of the, hey, Muse, what's up? Hey, you changed your name again? You sure did do that. What's going on with that? Hey, third line, what's going on? Did I get your... Oh, yeah, thank you. But listen, guys, I do want to put this in here real quick before I forget, and I'm not going to talk about that anymore. There's my PayPal link. People ask me to do that so they know where to go. It's in my description, too. If you guys want to check that out, it's there. I do appreciate anything that you guys, want to give me and feel like you want to. I don't want anybody ever, and I'm serious, ever to give me anything that's going to put them at any kind of, hard position, hard spot. I'm not going to come on here and give you some big sad sob story about anything that's going on in my life, because guess what? You guys have the same stuff going on as I do. So that's why I leave it as simple as I do. I could go into detail on what's going on in my life, and I do. But I don't usually try to put a monetary thing around the conversation at the same time. So that's why I do it the way I do it, because I get asked that question quite often. And because they're like, why don't you just come out and keep, tell people where it's at, this, that, and the other, because that's not why, I want people to know it's there, but that's not why I do this, okay? So just know that, and know that I appreciate you. So, all right, so we are going to go ahead and get into it now. I wanted to give some people some time to hop in here. The first thing here, guys, is notice that we now have a Schumann spike that happened. This had nothing to do with that ejection, okay? Actually, let me say hi to everybody here first. I got to say hi to at least to the person who was in here first. Missy was in here. Isaiah is close behind. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Good to see you guys. Shine on. Saya, The Chosen. KC, what's up? Who did I miss here? Samuel, what's up? Damo, Susan, Catherine, Jane Doe's always in here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Penny D, same thing. Anybody I miss, I am sorry. Tab, good to see you. Third line, already said something to you. Hi again. Isaiah's granny, thank you. Yeah. Just listening, waiting for. Okay, cool. Good to hear that you're not nothing really bad wrong or anything. But yeah, cool. Thanks for being here, Isaiah. IG is what I say. I like to call you IG because I know your name ain't Isaiah. Obviously, Isaiah is your grandchild. I would think. But I appreciate everybody that's here. And guys, let me say this too. Look at Arizona's logo here. It's not really her logo. That's her channel name. And she has a keyboard that she was able to do that with. I'll be curious if YouTube lets that continue. Because if they do, that's awesome. Hey, Skywatcher, what's going on? Hey, Lurk. Saying hi from Lake Okeechobee down there. Heck yeah. That's what I like to see, guys. What I like to see. Like to see everybody in here. I hope everybody is having a good time. Troy, good to see you in there, buddy. I said ITRA. Candace. Steven, what's up? What is up? Oh, goodness. Let's see here. I think I got pretty much a lot of you anyway. Jerry, good to see you. And again, guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into this, okay? I did want to give a little bit of a shout out at the same time, giving everybody a chance to get in here. So, anyway, we got the Schumann spike here, guys. That's significant. That's the biggest one we've had in, oh gosh, over a week, I would have to say. Now, remember, this is the Russian tool. There's one that it's called disclosure.com, I think. I showed it to you guys there for a minute. It's based in Italy, and that is important to know the difference between the two locations. Okay, because things locally can affect these, and I've went into some detail on that. But what I would do, guys, is I would send you guys to Verte's channel. All right, if you guys want to know more about the Schumann, that's exactly where I would send you. And the reason why is because he goes into detail. I mean, he did like a 4 or 5 hour stream yesterday, and I get that most people can't sit down for that kind of time. But my point here is that he goes into detail, so you can go back and rewatch, fast forward, rewind, pause, whatever you need to do to understand what he's trying to get across. And you will, I promise you will get a better understanding of what you're seeing. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that would happen. Here's his channel. This is just something, a little something I threw together for a couple of the channels that I appreciate. And so anyway, this is Verte's channel. There's his channel name. This is his page, basically. It's his logos and stuff. Obviously, that's the Earth. That's his logo. So I would go here, guys, for Schumann information and to learn what you're actually looking at. So that's what I would do there. Also, let me get here with this one. Where you at, Mark? There you are. Here's Mark's channel. Most of you guys know Mark by now. If you're here, I've been talking about him for a long time. He's a good friend of mine now. And guys, you want positivity, you want good music, you want face swaps, you want celebrity impersonationists, you want, political comedy, all that kind of stuff, come here. It's a good positive outlet, and I go there every day. He does 4 to 5 hour stream, 2 to 5 hour, or 2 to 6, really, hour streams every day for the past 7, 7 now. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, and he does it. And also, I know that Scott hasn't been putting out a whole lot of content right now because he's having to deal with real life. Okay, and that's what happens, right? Guys, let me just say this. You know, people have a very, very clouded view of how much people can actually make off of YouTube. And just doing simple stuff like just monetizing and trying to do other things, it doesn't pay the bills anymore like it used to. Okay, for those guys that monetized and did it for their job. And after the adpocalypse thing that happened on YouTube about a year or so ago, a little bit over, you know, these guys have a hard time supporting themselves. So he's dealing with real life. He's not coming out here and just putting it all out there. Hey, help me, help me, help me. Nothing like that. He's doing what he needs to do for himself and his family. His you know, Dr. Albers is sick and taking care of her. So I say all that just to let you know that, you know, he's still here. He just has to back off a little bit, and he is definitely taken care of. He is watching things very close. I know he does. I talk to him daily. He sends me stuff all the time. So, when I send stuff back to him, it's just one of those things. He hasn't forgotten about this community. I get a lot of questions about that. Matter of fact, he cares about this community more than you guys will ever know. He just does. He may not come across as saying it for, you know, out in the forefront like that. It's just not his personality to do it like that. But he definitely, guys, just look at his actions. You can tell he cares. Okay? He's been doing this even though he gets attacked. I just told you, ain't nobody getting rich off this stuff anymore. Not like they used to. Okay? But he still does it. So, anyway, I just wanted to point those 3 channels out to you guys real quick. I'll probably be putting that into like a slideshow, and I'll run it at the beginning of my channel. There'll be other channels added to that also. But with that being said, I'm going to get into this now. Sorry, I got sidetracked there again, but I didn't do a stream this morning. I was going to do a 30-minute thing, but there really wasn't much to talk about, guys. Hey, Hilly. Is Ricky in there? Hey, Wolf. Ricky, good to see you. Yeah, there's Ricky. Hey, Ricky. What's up? Anybody else I missed? But yeah, so anyway, guys, we got this. Now, yeah, I think I did this already. But anyway, there's my PayPal link. So, we'll leave that alone. Now, we got this right here, and that spike definitely will. If you had ringing in your ears, if you had just feeling kind of strange, got an antsy, any kind of thing like that, heart palpitations, believe it or not. There's a heart institute that I showed you guys before. They take this in direct consideration when they're doing surgeries, diagnosing people. They know that this affects our body, okay? And something that I've learned, and that was through watching Verte and other people, that this is regional, guys. This is a regional tool. So we have to understand that. If it's not a global event, if we can't look at this and go straight back to the sun or something else that would be global, then we have to understand that this is a regional thing. Then we got to look for tools closer to us, to wherever you're at in the world. So, you know, I don't really know exactly what tools we can look at for here in the States. That's why we go here. I don't know if there's anything around on the internet that we could actually see that's closer to us. And I wish there was. And there probably is. I'm just not aware of them. But we still need to pay attention to this, and I will show it every video. This affects everything. It is everything. Frequency affects and is everything. That's why I show it. When this thing starts jacking up, this is going to be our first indication of what's actually going on, what's going to happen, and if it continues, this is what we need to look at. All the other tools can get thrown in the trash, because as soon as this one gets all messed up, this is what's going to prove everything. I'm serious. I'm serious about that. Mark my words on that. When it does come down to the end of all of it, this is right here is going to show it. And this will be the first thing that does. Okay, well, oops, daggone, I can't believe I just did that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Hold on. Let me get this thing fired back up. Daggone it, I can't believe I did that. Are you kidding me? Okay, it's still there. I gotta let it reload. Alright, we can move on to the other things I was going to show you anyway. Okay, that ain't so bad. Okay, so we'll go, let's, well, I'll tell you what. Let's just do this. I'm not going to make you guys wait to see these things. See if I can't find the seeds. Okay, this is the CME. And I tell you what, I'm going to put the chat away for a minute, guys. So hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better. I'm going to back this off a little bit. And so, just to give people an idea what we're doing here, this satellite I'm getting ready to show you is our view. Okay, you see the Earth right here? SOHO is the satellite that this camera is on. Here's the sun, here's the Earth. It's between us and the sun, about 1 million miles closer to the sun. You see the orbit line they got drawn here? It stays with the Earth orbiting the sun. It stays out in front of us. The second satellite I'm going to show you is, well, it's really on this side if we're going to look at it from that view. This says behind, but they've got it flipped. It says stereo A and stereo B, and it's actually, when we look at the spacecraft itself, it's going to look as if it's the other way. I'm not going to get into why, but that's why. Stereo B, we don't get any information from anymore. It had some issues a few years back. There's a whole lot of theories on why, what, when, and where, and how all that went down. And again, that's another long conversation I'm not going to get into right now. But just know we can't see data from that anymore. But they can communicate with it, which makes me think that they're still getting something from it. We just don't get to see it. It's always questionable when we see stuff like that. But so this is, like I said, right in front of us. Now, I find it interesting. Watch when this thing quits. Watch when the timestamp stops. Now, it stops at 15. Okay? Let me get it up there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But while I'm doing this, I want you guys to understand, it's from our view. So this black thing, for people that don't know, that's an occulter. They put that on the camera. This is on the camera. It's not hanging out in space somewhere, okay? The surface of the sun is actually this circle. This white circle. That is the surface. What they're covering up here is the corona. The main light of the sun, where it's real hazy looking and stuff. If they didn't do that, we wouldn't get any imaging at all, because the sun's light would just completely overexpose everything with light. So, that's why that's there. So with that said, if something's coming directly at you, and you say you took, I don't know, it's like your car visor in your car, right? If you put that visor down, you can't see nothing in front of it, but you can still use your peripheral to see, right? You can kind of see around the edges and all that. Well, it's kind of what we see here a lot of times with the CMEs when they're coming right at us. The main energy is going to be right here, and we're not going to be able to see it. But what we can see is this, okay? Because see how we got this stuff poking around the edges already at 1500? Now, then it jumps to 22. Now, we missed 7 hours there. But look at what we see. Okay, do you see all this energy everywhere? Not only this, obviously that is the most intense part of it, and it looks like it's going to the right. Well, it is, but it's not. It's coming more so at us, but at a slight angle this way. It's going to hit us. Okay? This one is probably the biggest one I've seen in years come our direction. I mean, I know we didn't see one last year. Not like this. Now, it started off as a flare, but there was a subsequential CME right along with it. Okay? And as I'm watching the cable behind my computer here on my TV, that I'm not really paying attention to it, it's just on. It's glitching out right now. And it has been ever since this happened. It's kind of crazy, right? Well, let me show you why. Let's go back. Here's the CME tracker so you guys can... Well, let me take you back here to seeds real quick, because I want you guys to see this at a better angle, obviously. So we missed 7 hours there, right? Well, we're going to go over to ISWA and see if we can't see that 7 hours on the red view. We probably can. It's probably there. It's just Seeds has done something here. They do this a lot, especially when we get the big ones. I think that, what we're told that's going on there, they're reviewing some of that data to make sure that it's correct before they post it. But I'm telling you, whenever I hear that, I mean, it just makes it really, really muddy and just makes you wonder. So anyway, here's stereo A. This is from the side. Alright, give you reference. Satellite's here, or we can use the red side here, okay? And the Earth is here. It's not 90 degrees. Stereo A is slowly migrating towards Earth. It's still millions and millions of miles away, and it's the same distance from the sun as we are. It's just behind us here in our orbit. It's got to catch up, right? It's been out there for years. It's already overextended its life pretty much. But it's still out there giving us good data, and it's still good stuff to look at. Frankly, we don't have much more out there to lean on. They put stereo A and stereo B there so we could get a backside view of the sun. Because, in a perfect world, like I said, say if Earth was right here, stereo B was over here, and stereo A was over here, right? So their point of view, they overlap back here. So we almost had a full view of the backside of the sun also, along with the sides, and obviously we can see the front of it because it's in front of us. That's the purpose of those satellites. But if we move on here, you see what happens here, right? Now, I'm going to back that up. And that's right before it happened. Well, it actually probably already did happen at 1554. We just didn't see it come out of the behind the occulter yet. Now remember, stereo A is here, Earth is kind of here, right? So if I go, and before I go forward with this, that's Venus, guys, okay? It's not nowhere near this CME or anything like that. No bomb hit the sun, nothing like that. So that's just what I'm trying to say, first and foremost. I hate that I even have to say that. I think it's crazy that I have to say that, but I do, and I'm not going to get into why, not tonight. But yeah, so I'm going to put this down here, guys, in case you guys got something going on here. But yeah, that's Venus, okay? So let me go next, and then we start seeing it, right? Remember, Earth's not 90 degrees here. It's over here. So, we go forward. See how this is happening? Look at that. This is a full halo, okay? Just so you guys know. If remember, Earth's over here. So if the occulter is right in front of us, this would be what we consider a full halo, where it pokes around to all edges of the occulter. So you guys see what's happening there, right? What's this look like to you? This looks just like the one that popped off over here, just like the one that popped off on the side. This is from the same spot. It's amazing that happens like that. The same one, same area of the sun, from what I can gather, is popping off these big ones. So why is it this one? Why is this smaller sunspot doing this and the bigger ones aren't? It makes you wonder. It is a question that people have, and it's a question that I have, and we don't have a whole lot of great answers for that. I guess the short of it is, just because something big doesn't mean that it's powerful. And that just because something's small doesn't mean that it's puny. So that's what I'm saying. So, but that is very sizable, okay? So we're going to go look at it on other tools here. I'm going to play this first so you guys can see it. I'll slow it down. See that? I mean, that's a full halo, guys. Notice that, remember I talked about, we get a bigger one, usually about 100, not a bigger one, one a little smaller, 180 degrees behind it. Look what happens. Same thing. Just like I said, I make this observation almost every time. It's just nobody hardly ever talks about it because it's really pretty irrelevant unless you're on the other side and that smaller one's coming at you. Because sometimes that smaller one can be close to the same size as the bigger one. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens often. Okay? Something else I'm going to show you here real quick. Right about... Well, hold on. See that shadow? I don't know what's causing that shadow. My guess is when this thing first erupted, it was a flare, okay? So it probably seen the light, and that's probably what you're seeing there. Other than that, I don't know what to call that. If that's anything at all to even be much talking about. It only shows up right there, so I don't know what's actually causing that anomaly. But again, this is Venus. So you're probably asking, why isn't it showing up over here? Well, it is. If you look, this tool over here will put a gray box in front of it because it's so bright. That's what it's designed to do. See you, Hilly. Good to see you, bud. Have a good one, man. Okay. So again, this is the CME tracker. So what do we look at on this? Well, this is a top-down view of our inner solar system. Okay? This is Earth. This is the Sun. This is a side view. And this one over here on the right is the Earth's orbit stretched out in a straight line. Why do we need all three? Because we live in a three-dimensional world, right? This is a two-dimensional image. Okay? So we have to look at all three axes, and that's what you're seeing here. Top, side, depth, pretty much is what you're seeing on this one over here on the right. Now, if it hits us on all three, that's when we know it's going to hit us, for sure. Okay? And that's exactly what you see. And something else I want to point out, we're getting hit before that gets here. This is what I want people to understand, because this is really what's got me a little jaded on this one, because you guys know I've been talking about this high density particles going to hit us, right? You can see it start the high density right here. Watch, right here. See that? That's that energy that hit stereo A, and it's getting ready to hit us. But guess what? This CME is now going to hit us right about the same time. Hey Tom, what's up, man? So let me tell you guys that adds to all this. Okay? And for us to get a big CME like that is enough. But now we're getting this big high density event even before that we know has been coming, and I've been telling you guys about it. And now this one's going to arrive right around the same time. Now, there's something they discovered a while back, and they got some imaging of it last summer, I believe, or the summer before. It's called an interplanetary shockwave. Okay, what that is essentially is you got charged particles traveling, say, let's say it's traveling at 100. And then you get particles, you get fired off the sun or from wherever, that are traveling just a little bit faster, say 120. 150, right? Well, when it catches up to the slower ones in front, it has a shock wave. And what that is it's the electromagnetic fields of those particles interacting with each other. They're not colliding. Okay, they do collide. A few of them will collide. But the majority of them, their magnetics causes them to repel each other. So it causes a shock wave. So what it's going to do, if it happens at the exact same timing as this looks like it's going to, it will add extra oomph to what we're going to get. Okay? You're welcome, Tommy. I appreciate that, man. So, no, this is not Carrington event size, guys. Okay? I can't tell you what size this is yet. It was a decent sized solar flare, okay, with the CME after, and that's what you're seeing here, the CME part. Okay, with us having some energy in front of it at the same time, we're going to be juiced. And Yeah, it's not. Yeah, guys, it's not Carrington event. Nobody be, don't anybody be thinking that. I don't want anybody thinking that, because that's a little overkill. Okay. I'm not going to come out here and tell you guys it's Carrington event stuff unless I really think that it is, and I'm going to have some very, very convincing data before I even come out here and say anything like that. Because when somebody says Carrington event, your mind directly goes to no more power ever. Okay? That's just kind of what it is. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Or woman, I'm sorry. CDF. Is that what? I can't. Okay. I think you're a guy. Sorry. Judging by your avatar there, or your icon. I appreciate that. So, yeah, guys, and listen, that was a flare first, so you know what that means, right? The flare means that it was here and gone in 8 minutes. The flare part. Now, the CME is really probably what's going to give us most of our issue. Because if you look over here, this is the one for me that's really convincing. Where you take the Earth's orbit around the sun and you stretch it in a straight line over here. This is the one for me that becomes very, very accurate to what we actually experience usually. See what happens right there? I mean, it all just happens right there. Now remember, watch the high density event right there, boom, and then the CME is right behind it. Watch. See that? If that timing times out like that, yeah, guys, I mean, even if the CME isn't as big as like a Carrington event type of thing, it's going to be pretty powerful. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say that the sky is falling. You guys know I don't do that. I'm going to have some... We got days to look at this, okay? Yes, it was a C-class flare, but the CME behind it is what I'm concerned with the most. It's most definitely... You were right. It's definitely a C-class flare. So what we're going to do... Where is my space weather tab? I had space weather pulled up here, guys. Sorry. There it is. Okay. So, obviously I've been showing you guys this for a while. It almost got up into M class. It's a very high C class flare. Probably like a C9. Alright, notice though, that when this happened, nothing happened geomagnetically. It's because this is X-ray at first. The geomagnetism will come after. Alright, so that definitely is, that's what we would expect to see. Okay? So as I'm moving down through here, here's the enlil graph. Now, you see this right here? This is not the CME. This enlil graph is not showing us this CME. It's looked like this for days. This little hump has been coming at us for days. Look, even the increased solar wind speed. Go back and watch my previous 2 videos. There's that little bit of high dense material that I was talking about. Now this thing will update. Alright, as soon as it gets this new update, I look for it, this whole thing to change. Okay, it just will. Because right now we are about right here in time. So in about 24 hours, we're going to be experiencing this. And then shortly thereafter, we're going to get that CME. So we have to pay attention. And with that being said, look here. The density's up here. Right here on this line. Right at the changes of the day on the 9th. Notice that the solar wind speed doesn't peak until about 12 hours later. Which would be about the time that CME gets here. So all that stuff's happening at once. And this is why I think that this is going to be pretty significant. Now, I'm not saying that, again, this is not Carrington event stuff, okay? But this is substantial. This is probably the biggest thing we've talked about, well, frankly, for years. Sorry, it just is. I don't know how else to say it. Look at our magnetism, how it got all jacked up when that happened. So, if we go down here to the ionosphere, and we look at this graph here, the absorption rate, let's see it. See, look, check it out. There it is. Notice how long that ionized our atmosphere. Says all that wind make it faster. Yes, Samuel. That most certainly, that's the whole thing with the interplanetary shockwave. When they interact, when that CME, the energy from that CME catches up with that high dense material, it will cause an interplanetary magnetic shockwave. There's no doubt about it. Hey, CD. Okay, cool. Cool. I know you are now. Thank you for pointing that out. Hey, Wolfie, what's up? So, yeah, we got this right here, guys. This is definitely, yeah. That is a significant. So, if we go here, we keep moving. And notice how everything just kind of tails off, which is what we'd expect. But look how when this flare hits us, look how much of the globe it covers. This ionized a really large area of our atmosphere. Now remember, guys, this is South America. The South Atlantic anomaly is down here too. So we have to understand that. And that's all jacked up and crazy anyway. The magnetics down here are not what it is on the other parts of the planet. So when things happen down here, things sometimes get in easier. They cause weird things to happen. So, yeah, you're welcome, Candace. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for modding for me. I appreciate all my mods, all that. Okay, so, if you see this, obviously we're getting up into this range. Now, remember, last week we were talking about solar storms, or radiation storms, and it was like off the charts here, okay? But we're talking about ionization, probably radio blackouts, stuff like that, okay? So if we look at that, then we can go look at earthquakes. And, you're seeing a little bit of a spiking here. But overall, what I'm seeing with earthquakes really isn't extremely crazy at the moment. I looked at this a few minutes ago, and I wasn't really seeing nothing like really big, nothing that was... one thing I will say, we are seeing an uptick in activity overall. You put that on there. Okay, now remember what I've been saying, trying to show you guys here as of late, that, see how we're zoomed out and we look at this? Yes, we can tell that's swarming, but it doesn't look all that bad from this view, right? Well, let's zoom in. Let's see what happens. First thing I would point out, you guys see the straight line all the way down this fault line. So we're not just pinpointed. This thing, its activity is, yeah, it's spanning a pretty good distance here. Now, again, we're zoomed out. Well, we know it's swarming here in Mina, which is in Nevada. It had an event a couple months ago, and it's been active ever since. There's a volcano there. So let's zoom in on this. Look what happens as I zoom in. Look at all the quakes. You wouldn't see that unless you zoomed in. Yes, plates are on the move. Exactly. Yeah, we're going to. So we're going to see some volcanic and earthquake upticks. Good point there, Ricky. For sure. Yeah, ain't that crazy? I thought that too, Axe. Listen, I seen that straight line of quake going down that fault. We don't usually see it like that. That right there is a very, very good a visual to show you that that energy is actually transferring down that fault line. A lot of times we see it kind of hit and miss down the line, and we have to say, hey, yeah, the energy's traveling that way. But that's undeniable right there. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's not usually that clear. I mean, that is undeniable that energy's transferring that direction. How do I know it's going that direction? Because the most recent one's here. That's why. I bet it. Well, let's just do it. Let's do this right now. I can show you probably right now, and we'll look at the times of these quakes. That one was at 2:52. That was at 11:53. 18:06. That was at 5. 13. Well, it's all over the place. Maybe there was, it looks like there might have been like a couple waves of them, maybe. Because remember, this is 24 hours. Looks like there might have been like 2 little pulses going on there. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're seeing. Then we go down to this one. So, you know, this 2300 hour one is, where did it show it? Right there. That's from the 6th, okay? So that's a while back. It's almost a day ago. So yeah, there's that. But I wanted to show you guys that because we don't usually get that definitive line so precise of it actually seeing that spread. Yeah, nothing like that, Ricky. I see you, for sure. Do you think the Earth is expanding, growing in size, but the places of least resistance is the fault lines, her ascension? Well, you know, there's a lot of evidence to show that we are expanding, okay? I don't think that really anybody kind of denies that. Now, the reason why it's expanding, that's where the conversation and the arguments come into play. Well, I call them arguments, but they're just discussions most of the time. It's just, you know, those are hard things to kind of pinpoint. My opinion, yes, I do think that we do expand. I think it's undeniable, some of the evidence that we see. But as far as the reason why, yeah, your guess is as good as mine on that one. I'll accept anything and look at it and research it. I just haven't researched that all that much. So, is the Milky Way expanding? I think, guys, there's a whole lot of theories on that. It's a huge subject. And you know what I would say, Wolfie? I think the whole universe probably is. That's my opinion. All the 2 planets, yeah, that's not going to happen until, I know we got Jupiter and Saturn getting ready to line up, guys. But no, just know that it doesn't just like happen at one specific time. It doesn't happen like at 5:54 and that's it. Right? It takes it days, weeks really, for them to, you know, yes, at some point they'll be exactly lined up. And they're really not exactly. Let's take you here. I'm going to show you guys this real quick because we're talking about that. They don't get exact. What you're going to see a 0.1 degree apart, which is very, very small. Okay? It's almost as if they're right on top of each other, but they're not right on top of each other. So just know that. Notice the date on here, December 21st. What's today? Today's what, the 7th? So we got 2 weeks before those even get that close to each other. Right now, this is what they look like. That's how close they are to our sky already. So, nothing will really happen from the CME. You know, I don't know, Lindsay. If that's a question, I would have to say that we're going to see something. I think that we're going to have some sort of effects here on our planet. Now, I'm not going to say what those are because I can't tell you. What I can tell you is I'll show you guys what we can expect during certain storm levels. But I'm going to show you the rest of CME first. So we got this, right? Let me back that up. So we'll go back up to this, and this is what we see. So let's go over here to ISWA. Where am I at? There we are. Okay. And I want to show you guys what the surface of the sun itself looked like during that. Okay. Now this is the 211. It's going to happen right here in front of us, guys. Watch. See that? I know you can. I guess I don't even have to really say that. Let me zoom in a little bit more. This is where it gets kind of impressive for me because this is significant. You're going to know. This thing was right in front of us. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. This is why we talk about this stuff. Because it was right in front of us. So that was the normal look, right? And then we get this. So that's the CME there. Let me take you over here to the 304. It's going to happen right here. Here it comes. It's coming. There it went. Okay. Now I know it doesn't look very impressive on the 304. That's why we look at the other ones, because, man, my TV is really jacking up. If anybody else is having any of that, let me know. I'd be curious to know, because I do think it has something to do with this flare that's going on. Next time it doesn't, I'm going to take a picture. It's kind of crazy. Wow. I mean, my TV is really jacking up. That's nuts. Okay. So, yeah. I'll try to upload a couple of those pics here real quick so you guys can see them. Is anybody else having that? Let me know. Okay, please? I'd like to know. If you are, let me know. Because, I think it's interesting when we see stuff like that. Because we can directly point straight to what we just seen on the sun with the flaring. La 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 la. What's that mean? Oh goodness. Mr. Excellence. Lurk, Rip, what's up? Good to see you. Jill, what's up? Your TV's fine? Okay. Cool. Cool. Hey, Christine. Hey, back at you, Mexico. Good to see you. You're welcome, Egg. See you, Lurk. Diane, Rick. Mark. Oh, you singing Christmas Carol? That's awesome. That's awesome. I love you guys so much, man. You guys are awesome. That's all I can say. So let me I'll back this up a little bit. We're gonna look at the other views here. I'm gonna show you guys the 131 next, because this one does show the flare part of it the best. It's gonna look like a lighter, like a flame. It's right there. Watch this. This was pretty impressive. Okay, there's the initial right there. See it kind of blowing a little bit, and then we get this. I just thought that was cool. I mean, yeah, very cool stuff. Thanks, Pascalin. Really appreciate that. What were you saying there about the earthquakes? Forcing climate info. Jupiter, Saturn has to do what with earthquakes? Sometimes the planetary alignments, guys, can, if you're asking that question, judging by your name, you probably already know the answer, I'm sure. Planetary alignments can actually help jerk on our planet magnetically. Okay? And when that happens, sometimes those will kick off earthquakes. So, yeah. Let me back this up a little bit. I just thought that one was pretty cool. Now, I'll show you the 171 here also. And this one here will show a pretty good overall view of what we're seeing, actually. So watch right in here. So you can see it leaving here. But the reason, guys, listen, if this thing had happened on the side, we would have like a really, really great looking humongous explosion, right? Because we got the blackness of space here on the side. We do not get that when we have Earth-facing CMEs and solar flares. The sun itself actually camouflages it. Visually, anyway. So let me show you something here. Watch right down in here. Right in here. See that? That was not even from the original flare. That one came from over here. See? Then we get the big one. Boom. Okay? So, let's go here. This is our magnetopause models. The sun is over to the left. Okay? And I show you guys these often. And this is where we look at the solar wind and the density and all that kind of stuff. This gives us a pretty decent visual of what's going on. We'll put the chat away here. So we're not seeing a whole lot of action right here, right? We wouldn't expect to, okay? Not for a couple days. Now, when the flare got here, this thing might have moved a little bit, but magnetically, that flare didn't do much to us, okay? It's X-ray. That's what a flare, you know, I said that a lot lately, especially. That flare is definitely something that we look at, and it's just X-ray alone, period. Now, behind it, what happens behind it oftentimes is a CME. And for me, right now, that's the biggest concern, okay? So, with that being said, we've got a couple days to watch this, okay? I don't want people to, like, freak out or anything like that, okay? So, I don't want that. Please don't, because that's not my intent here. My intent here is to show you guys that when I come out here and I actually say something might be going to happen, hey, Menacing, what's up? Yeah, exactly, Menacing. It's going to be very, very interesting on the 9th. So when I come out and I tell you guys, I think this could actually give us some issues. Know that I'm being serious, but also know that I don't want anybody to fear, because this is nothing to fear. This is not a Carrington event. So hopefully all you guys heard me say that, because you're going to have people out there making grand claims like this is going to be the end of all. Okay? Yeah, you're right, Ricky. Yeah, for sure. And, you know, and this right here is situations where I know that people will never admit this, but when they see things like this, they're probably thinking in the back of their mind, why didn't I listen to some of those guys that had me, you know, really wanted me to prep up at least for a couple weeks? You know, so this is why I talk about this. I'm not going to come out here and tell you this is a Carrington event, because I don't think that it is, number one. Number two, if I thought it was, I probably wouldn't say it until it got closer anyway, because there would be no way for me to confirm any of that. I can just show you what I've already shown you. That's it. Now, we talk about Carrington event this and Carrington event that. I do it a lot myself. There's been other events after. Okay? We've talked about that before here too. The one most people remember is the grid outage that happened in Canada. I believe it was what? Was it 91 or something like that? 96? Something like that. Back in the 90s. I can't remember the exact year. But that's exactly what happened here. We got hit with a flare CME. And it happened to knock the grid out, some of the grid out in Canada. And a little bit of the United States, if I remember right, like Maine and stuff. So, you know, you don't have to have a Carrington event size event for something to be substantial. Now, if we're going to talk about the big time stuff like that could knock grids out for years at a time, you know, big gigantic ones like that, you know, that is not what I just showed you guys. Just know that. You know, you guys, if we get like that big one that I think might actually knock the power out for good, it's going to be without question when we look at these things. Most likely, we're not going to be able to look at it. because they're going to catch something like that and they're going to kill every tool that they got. They're not going to let us see that stuff. The only way we're going to be able to see it are those people out there that have their own telescopes and stuff in their backyard, and they've actually got it pointed up there just watching for whatever reason, and they catch it. That's my opinion. Okay? Now, hopefully there's good people, in those places. I'm sure they're very few and far between, but hopefully, maybe, when we do experience something like that, we might get some sort of a warning. But one thing I do want to show you guys here, we're going to look at this real quick too. We just got to talking about the planetary alignment, right? And I explained to you guys, because of the alignment of it, it can actually yank on us. We're all connected, right, with the interplanetary magnetic field lines. We're connected to our sun that way, and the sun's connected to all other bodies, right? So that means we're all connected, at least at some level. So I want you guys to understand that when we're looking at these things, first off, we have some time to look at this. Kenley, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ken. I really do. Guys, I appreciate anybody that stops in and wants to listen to me. And, I can't say it enough. It really, that's exactly what keeps me moving. Frequency and vibrations, Tesla is a beast. Yes, exactly, Robert. That is a great statement. Check Euro monitor. Off the charts for days. Yeah, we've seen that, I think. Somebody was showing that. I wasn't showing it, but yeah, that definitely was going on. Tommy, you sick, bud? If you are, feel better, like Arizona said there. Mark Atkins, what's up? Ryan. Okay. Hey, Teresa, what's up? Lurk's still here. What's up? Axe, Menacing. Man, you guys are awesome. So, I do want to show you guys a couple other things here before we get off of here, because I want you guys to see. I've ran through this before, but I'm going to do it again because of what we're seeing, okay? This is the levels of geomagnetic storms and what we can expect for each level. Hey, Christine, what's up? So we are seeing G1 storm level, right? That's what this is, which would be, let me take you here first and explain what that is. I'll take you back up here and show it to you. You see these levels? That's a G1, G2, so on and so forth, up to a 5. Okay, so if these bars get up that high, that means our geomagnetism is really on the rise, and that's what puts us in the storm level. That's what they call a storm, right? So, I got you here. What can we expect with a G1? Weak power grid fluctuations, minor impacts on satellites, those kinds of things. Animals might have trouble navigating themselves. Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but that's exactly what it is. Oops. Wrong way. Okay. G2. Approximately 600 times every 11 years this happens. High latitude power systems may experience voltage alarms. In other words, they got to go out and reset them. That kind of thing. Nothing really gets damaged, it just trips them out. Long duration storms may cause transformer damage. High latitudes, which means the closer to the poles you get, the more chance of that happening. G3 storms, what can that do? It happens about 200 times every 11 years. Now, they're saying 200 times. I'm not sure if that's actually 200 times here on the Earth, or if that's 200 times in general on the sun. I think it's here on Earth, just to be honest. I'm pretty sure. Because the way that that's worded, it seems as though they're talking about just conditions at Earth. It says power systems may experience voltage alarms and require correction. Corrective action may be required for spacecraft. They may lose their orientation, guys. They got to go back out there and figure it out again. Yeah, my cable is really jacking up. I'm surprised I got a good signal going out here on YouTube. Anyway, low frequency radio navigation problems may occur. Okay, G4. Approximately 100 times every 11 years. If we got power systems may experience widespread voltage control problems. Some protective systems will mistakenly trip out. What they're talking about is something very similar to your GFCIs, which are now most states have, probably all states, they're part of their building code for kitchens and bathrooms, so you don't get electrocuted if you you jump in the tub holding a hairdryer. Yeah, I've always wondered who the heck does that. But anyway, so you're seeing this, and this is what we can expect for a G4 storm. Spacecraft may experience surface charging and tracking problems. Surface charging can cause their control panels and stuff to short out. It's bad, really bad for the spacecrafts. Okay, know that a G4 storm and also the spacecrafts, they don't have the full protection of our geomagnetic, our electrical field, our shields. Okay, they're out there in space, so they don't have that protection like we do. So that they're directly exposed to this stuff. Okay, now we're talking about the biggest storms that we get. All right, G5s. Power systems may experience widespread voltage control problems. Systems may experience complete collapse or blackouts. Spacecrafts may experience surface charging again. Okay, satellite navigation degraded for days. In other words, these satellites could be out there doing whatever they want for days, and we can't do nothing about it to correct it. Pipeline currents can reach hundreds of amps. Guys, that is very, very significant. If anybody knows anything about electricity, they know that when we're talking about amps, that we're talking about power. That's power. That's how powerful. That's what that word actually means. If you want to think of it in that way. Okay? Voltage and stuff like that, that's more like the flow of it. The amps is the power behind it. And that's how that works. So, yeah. Hey, you're welcome, Chris. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, pop the fuses. Exactly, Mike. That's definitely something that, yeah, for sure. Not even 500 likes. Come on. Yeah, come on, guys. Give me some likes in there. I love it. Love it. Give me some likes, guys. Come on. Hit me up. Hit me up. Get this video out there. Let's let this one get past that algorithm. Let's get it. Let's get it. Hey, Candace. I tell you what, guys. Let's see how many people's actually been through. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. We had over 827. Well, we still got 750 people in here right now. That's cool, guys. I appreciate you. I really do. Hopefully you guys can stick around. Hopefully I'm giving you guys some good information here that might help you understand a little better about what's going on. But guys, know that this G5 storm stuff is happens 11 times per year, per 11 years. Or 4 times, I'm sorry. 4 times per 11 years. What's that mean? Well, they use 11 years because that's a sun cycle. Okay, and I've been talking a lot about sun cycles. I'm not going to get into that because that's a long conversation. But just know that that's what's happening, and know that it happens 4 times a year, 4 times every 11 years. And, we can get a G5 storm, but let me explain something with that too. Let me calm some nerves here a little bit because, if we get a G5, it doesn't mean that we're on the top end of a G5. All it means is we got the G5. The difference between a high-level G4, it should be down here, I'm sorry, and a low-level G5 isn't very much. So that's kind of what I'm saying. So unless we're going to come out here and talk about an extremely high, and we already know it's going to happen, G5, then we shouldn't be out here saying that the world's going to end, that kind of thing. So when I show you this, notice that they're not saying that, oh my gosh, all life on Earth is going to cease to exist. That's not what they're saying here. They're telling you that this happens 4 times every 11 years. But we're all still here, right? So what does that say? That tells you that we've had this 4 times every 11 years, and we're all still here. So, just because we're getting a big one, and this is a big CME, this is not a baby. When we're taking this one right in the face. It does not mean that we need to be out here freaking out, scaring everybody else on the internet. None of that. It doesn't do any good. Now, as the days progress to when we do get impacted with this, we're going to, we'll have a little bit more of a heart-to-heart as this gets closer and closer, because I'll be able to give you better data. Okay? And I'll know more about exactly what's going to happen as it gets here. Now, I'm never going to be able to tell you 100% everything 100% positive that's going to happen, because we just can't do that. So, what I'm saying is, don't let somebody scare you. Alright? If somebody is out there just claiming this is like the biggest, worst thing that's ever happened, oh my gosh, and they go into their big spiel or whatever, you know what I suggest for those people? Anybody that's listening to somebody like that, they need to come here and take a screenshot of this and take it back to them and read them this information. Because when they say it's going to be the end of the world, this is like the biggest thing that's happened and ever, and all this other kind of stuff, then you ask them, you say, hey, why have we got this same kind of a storm 4 times every 11 years, but we're all still here? You guys see what I'm getting at here? You thought I knew everything? No, I do not. Not even close. That's awesome, Miss After Mom. That's awesome. So, I just want you guys, I really want you guys to get a good idea of what we can expect through each storm level. And so you guys have a deeper understanding that just because we get big storms doesn't mean it's going to be the end of everything. Guys, listen. If you want to talk about the Carrington event, 1859 is when that happened. What's today? 2020, right? That's 170 years ago. We're all still here. You see where I'm getting at with that? That's kind of what I'm saying. And even after that happened then, they were all still here. Yeah, it messed up their telegraph lines and a lot of issues going on. But we're all still here. Now, I will say this. I do think that we're in for a big, big one at some point. Okay? I mean, mathematically, it's impossible that it won't happen. It will eventually. Okay? Now, I can't tell you when. I have no idea. And anybody that tries to tell you that they do know when it's going to happen, just know that maybe that might not be the best person to be getting your data from, because I want to know exactly how they can say that and why. And wherever they're getting their data from, I want to go look at it, because I want to be able to say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, that's, yeah. Oh, man. Man, guys, believe it or not, I just cut myself. Believe that crap? Oh my gosh. Where'd that come from? I got a piece of glass on my table. Huh. Anyway. Yeah. Hey, Birthday, what's up? So, this is, like I said, guys, this is what we can expect. Now, so what do we do from here? Well, let me show you what I do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I monitor. And I'm going to do it real quick, and then we're going to get off of here, okay? And I'll try to, keep everybody here to let you guys see it. And what I want you guys to do is I will monitor this. This is a CME tracker, okay? Now, this right here, it only updates if there's a CME. Okay? It won't continuously get new data and do anything with it. If we get another CME, it'll show that CME, and this one will get wiped off of here. And that's why I show it to you, because you may come back to this if we have another small CME, say it fires off this side. This one will no longer be there. It doesn't mean that it's not coming, because it is. It just means that they've seen another CME and they're showing that one. I wanted to show you that first and foremost. Yep, that's right, Menacing. Whoever's asking that, guys, listen to what Menacing's saying there. On September 1st to the 2nd in 1859, that was the Carrington event. That was a huge solar flare CME that knocked out. It killed telegraph lines, guys. I mean, it burned them up. People's lights were busted. I mean, it was guys, it was significant. Most everybody that talks about modern day, like, CME issues, that's usually the first words you'll hear them talk about, is the Carrington event. But I'd like to point out, guys, like I said before, that we definitely have had events after. Okay? What does all this mean, Armed? What this means is the sun has fired a big old plasma ball at us, pretty much. That's what it kind of means. Yes, 1989, Menacing, thank you. That's when the entire province of Quebec, Canada, lost its power. That was because of a solar event. Now, is this what we're seeing here? I can't say that. I don't know. I don't think that it is. The only thing that's got me kind of pushing this a little harder than what I typically would is the fact that we have that other high-dense material. And keep in mind, guys, when I say high-dense material on this one, let me see if I can't. When I say high-dense material on this one, I mean it, because this is what I'm talking about right here. You see this? A normal condition for density, for plasma density, is 4. Okay, you can get that information anywhere. Normal conditions for plasma density, solar wind, plasma density is 4. Okay? This is over 50. So this was going to give us a hit anyway. Now, we've got this, plus the CME with it. That's going to happen either one right after the other, or at the same time. Now, keep in mind what I said about the interplanetary magnetic shock wave. What that is it's the magnetic fields of the particles, because they're charged. When they get close to each other, they interact, and they're repelling. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, right? So it causes a shock wave when it catches up to the solar wind in front of it. So the CME will catch up with this dense material, is what I'm saying. If that happens at the same time that it's impacting Earth, that will actually add to what we get. Okay? And I only say that because that's what we're seeing. I'm not trying to add anything to this. This is what we're seeing. This is not something that I'm playing up. And I'm actually, guys, if you want my honest opinion on this, I'm trying to downplay this a little bit so people don't get scared. That's just what I'm doing. I don't want anybody out here freaking out, because it ain't going to do any good. Okay? So just know that. Now, so what I'll do here Let's take you back over here to seeds real quick. Let's see if it's updated at all. So I want to be able to show it to you guys without any missing data. And still missing data. Okay. So let's go over here to ISWA. And what I'm going to do here is we can look at the same satellite just from a different website right here. We won't get the black and white, but we'll get the red. Okay? So it's right here, and it definitely looks like it might be showing some stuff here. My gosh, my finger's bleeding bad, guys. Wow. I can't believe I did that. Man. So I'm going to run this on a time lapse here. And for those that don't know, this is a time lapse. This is not a video. Okay? You know, when we look at video, like when you're looking at YouTube, you're going to get it at like 60 frames per second. You're getting 60 images per second. What we're looking at here right now is one image every 4 minutes or something like that. Every 12 minutes. Yeah, every 12 minutes. Okay, so instead of 60 frames per second, we're getting one frame every 12 minutes. So that should let you guys know that this is not a video. This is definitely... Yeah, I got it wrapped up, Candace. I'm just trying to keep it off my mouse. Actually, I got it on my stinking computer right here, too. I can't believe that happened. That's nuts. Nutty. Nutty, 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 nutty. Kool-Aid or Band-Aid? Hey, that's right. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna drink me some Kool-Aid when I put my Band-Aid on. How about that? Sound good? So, let's do this. We are going to see what this thing will show us. This is, guys, listen. This right here is the same view that we're seeing here. It's just on a different website. We won't be able to see this version, but we can get it here. Okay, at least the red filtered view. Yeah, I got you. Thanks, Missy. Oh. Let's see here. See if I got anybody. You guys got any questions for me? I'm trying to answer them as we're going here. Hopefully I'm, helping everybody here understand. So let's see if we get any missing data here. Yep. We got a little bit more though. Okay, watch what this does. Okay, it's kind of a normal one right there, but watch around the edges here. Watch what happens. See that? That's what we're talking about, full halo. You see how that energy did that? Yeah, I think you told me that before, Missy, that you were a first responder, a medic. That's I appreciate your work. I really do. Anybody that's on the front lines like that, especially in today's world, man, it takes a special person to be able to do that kind of stuff. So, let me show you what a halo is. That's what we would look at normally, right? And then we get this thing blow off the sun, and then, see it poking out the bottom there? Then it pokes her out on all sides. That is a full halo, and that is fired right at us. If we get caught in that shock wave, how much do you expect it to intensify? Shine on, I'm kind of reluctant to even say. From what I understand, the shock waves that happens with that, it is an intensification. but I'm not sure exactly how strong those things can be. Now, I would assume that the shockwave part of it that would add extra to it would matter of the speed that both of the separate events are moving. So what I'm saying is, if the dense particles that we're going to get with on the 9th, let me show you. This one, okay? That right there. So say that's moving at 50, right? And then the CME fires off and it catches up with it right here, right when it hits Earth, right? But it's moving at 75. Now that's gonna cause a certain amount of a shock wave, right? We'll call it a 50-degree shock wave, just for whatever reason, right? We'll call it 50 powerful, whatever. That's just some verbiage I'm making up. So 75 to 50 miles per hour speed. And again, we're not talking miles per hour here when we're talking about space. I'm just doing this so you guys can understand the difference. So we got a 25 speed increase difference between the two, and it causes, say, a 10% power increase. Well, if this one up here in the front, say it was traveling slower than 50, say it was traveling at 20, and then we get a 100 mile an hour or a 75 mile an hour speed that catches up with it. Now we're talking about a distance of almost 50. So that's going to, in my mind, that would cause a bigger shock wave. So I don't, it's hard to say what that's going to do. Break on to the other side. That's right. That's a good song. That's right, Christine. So, I don't think that they've had enough info on those kinds of things. Matter of fact, I know they haven't, because they just seen it for the first time last summer. They were able to get a visual on it. So to gauge power there on what it can actually do, there's a whole lot of different data points that would have to be thrown in there to really get a good idea. Now, what I can say, that I do think it will cause an interplanetary shockwave right there when it does catch up. In my mind, it's almost impossible that wouldn't happen. Because it has, each particle there has its own little electromagnetic field. And when magnets interact with each other, they cause shock waves. That's all you got to do. Go get 2 magnets and put it on the table and move them around and see what happens. So that's kind of what we're talking about. So I do want people to understand that I don't want people freaking out, but I want people to understand that this actually could give us a little bit of issue, okay? And you guys know that I don't come out here and say that, without pretty good evidence of what I'm saying here. And I just showed you guys why I think this. I don't think we're going to come out of this without any kind of issues. Now, when I say issues, I just showed you what we could expect, okay, with this. So the issues we're going to experience are going to determine where we fall on this chart. Okay, so I know somebody's probably out there asking, where are we going to end up? What storm level is Wages World expecting us to get to? I'm going to have to give you guys one of those, it's going to be a very broad thing here, because there's really no way for me to say, hey, we're going to expect this kind of a storm. I do think that we're going to get into storm level. I do think that it's probably going to be at least a G2, if not a G3, given the fact that we have the other energy here also, roughly about the same time. I think there's a very, very outside chance that we might get to G4. Maybe. I don't even like saying that. I don't think that that's a high probability, but I do think that anything at this point is possible. But let me stress this fact. We have days before this gets here. Yeah, you can go outside, Becky. It ain't nothing like that, for sure. It ain't like that, guys. This isn't like anything's gonna be falling from the sky or anything like that. It won't affect you, your like radiation if you're worried about that kind of a thing. No, we ain't gonna worry about that. And what Rick says here is very true. It will be quick if it does reach high magnitudes of this storm level. I think that's a point that gets kind of lost sometimes, is the fact that if we do experience like a G5, say, I'm probably not going to be able to come out here and tell you about it. You want to know why? Because we're probably going to have some sort of a power outage. Now, how long it lasts and how bad it is, who knows? But, there's a chance that we would definitely have communication issues. Whether they're down for a long time or they're right back up, who knows? But it would depend on how strong this actually is. And let me say this too. Menacing makes, she talking about prepping there. We definitely should, but I don't. This isn't like a run to the store, give everything you can, and all that. That's not what this is. Okay. I don't think that any of that kind of thing is going to happen with this one. Now, again, let me say, I will be monitoring this really close. Okay? I will. I mean, I'm talking like extremely close. Because this is something that we have, stuff that we haven't seen for years. Not coming our direction. Okay? Remember, we were in solar minimum. So this has been a while. Now, it wasn't just, 2 weeks ago I was telling you guys we got the biggest flare that we had experienced in years. Just 2 weeks ago. What's this all saying? What's this all mean? I know that's a big question for people, okay? But it's a legitimate one. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of great answers out there. Okay? We can give you an opinion. We can give you this and we can give you that. Like the old song say, you can get with this or you can get with that. But what I want to say, guys, is that, man, I don't want anybody to freak out. That's why I hesitate to do stuff like what I'm doing right now. But I think with this one, it would be, I wouldn't be doing anybody any favors if I didn't come out and at least tell you guys that I do think this is going to be a very significant event. Okay, now I don't think we're going to have like massive power outages and stuff like that. I do think that we are going to notice some things around. Well, heck, right now I'm sitting here looking at my TV behind my computer. It's glitching out right now. And it's probably because of the ionization from the flare. Okay? I just showed you guys all this ionization down here. I'm in the States. So it is kind of, it's up here a little bit, not massively, but it could be causing some issues. So that's what I would say to that. But, so let me do this, guys. Listen, if you guys got any questions, pop them in there. I want to know if you guys have any questions at all. One thing I want to say before we get into that is the fact that do not fear anything. The world's not ending. None of that's happening. Okay? I want to show you guys Ron Tyler's channel real quick. Okay? Mm-hmm. Oh, look, see
questions, photos, information. You can.
He's talking about this right now. Same thing I am. This is where I go to get my main earthquake information, guys. Okay. Ron's a great guy. Ricky and Isaiah's granny's probably in here. If they're not, they will be, I'm sure. Here is a link to his current live stream that he's doing right now. I'm probably going to pop over there here in a minute just to see what he has to say about earthquakes and stuff. But before you guys go, okay, before anybody takes off, I want to show you guys one more thing here, okay? Let's do this. Oh, man. There's Birthday's channel. Now, listen, guys. Everybody and their brother is going to be out here talking about this. Okay? So, just know that. Now, what I want you guys to be aware of on that one is the fact that if somebody is going to fearmonger, we all know what fearmongering is, right? I mean, we see it every day. Unfortunately, that's what happens. And the people that are not fearmongering, you'll be able to know who those people are, okay? But I'm going to show you guys. I didn't get a chance to take you guys over here last night because I didn't do a video last night. But this is Mark Pyers, guys. Please go check him out. I'm going to be over there later on tonight when he goes live. I will send out a community post, okay? I would love for you guys, anybody that's not been here on my channel before, I would love for you guys to come over here. I put the link right there, guys. And hang out with me, and we can talk over there in the chat room. But you're going to get a laugh out of what Mark does. You're going to get a release from all the negativity that we see every day. And I've said this a lot lately, but everything I just showed you guys, it's important stuff, right? But at the same time, it's all negative. So let me tell you this. If you guys want an avenue to go to that isn't so negative, but still has real talk, he makes fun of he makes fun of politics. He makes fun of politicians. He's a great celebrity impersonist. He invented this beat seat that he's sitting on. He's a musician. He sings. He invented this beat seat that's a percussion instrument like a drum that guitarists can play while they're playing guitar and sing. Basically a one-man band type of thing. And he's awesome at it. The laughs we get over here are hysterical. I needed this at this time in my life when I first found Mark's channel. And I hope that you guys will come over and visit too. I really do. So please do. Now, let me show you guys one more thing before I do get off of here. And this will be the last thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys Ron's channel again, because he's over there live right now. Hopefully everybody will go over there. Do me a favor. Go give Ron a love bomb right now, if you would. Say, hey, I'm here from Wages World. I'm going to give you a subscription, and I'm here to hear what you got to say about some earthquake stuff. And this will definitely, you know, he was just talking about the same CME stuff I was just doing. So he cares, guys. And he's got answers for things. So go give him some love, you know? What happened there? Okay, there he is. But there's the link. So everybody head over there if you could. You know. I hope to see you guys over there. I most definitely will be there myself. And I thank you guys for stopping in here. I will keep you guys posted. If you guys come back tomorrow, I will definitely be here talking about this again and giving you guys updates. So please do. And God bless. Yahusha saves. And you can drink this.